Hey, how's it going, my fellow Bob-tards? I know. Things have been really iffy lately, and everyone's starting to get cold feet. They're losing their diamond hands under this pressure. I know it's intense. I just want you guys to know, this is how the chart currently looks. We'll look at it on the 4-hour. It'll look a lot better this way. These resistance levels have been drawn out for quite some time, and if I was going to say anything, maybe this is at 0.7, 0.66. Yeah, around there. Right now, we've been hovering around this level. We broke out. We only reached half this price target from the breakout. But we also have to understand, guys, the whole market has been collapsing. We're talking Bitcoin going from, let's see, from just this one collapse. We had a peak of about 100,000, 99,500, and we dropped all the way down to 78,000. If we pull out the ruler, we can see that this is a price collapse of 21.3%. That is insane. That's a big collapse, and there's obviously fundamentals backing this up, which is, look at what Trump has been doing to the market. He has been intentionally crashing the market. If you guys don't watch Graham Stephan, I highly recommend watching Graham Stephan. He just made a video on this theory per se. Nothing is factual. But I mean, when Trump's out there talking on the news saying, hey, you know, you're not supposed to look at the market daily. Americans run by quarters, but Chinese, they run by 100 years. He just says China and a billion a lot of times, and everyone's like hyped up. But, you know, he keeps bringing up crypto, and I don't know, they say to hold, you know, diamond hands. I don't know what that means. And then we got freaking Michael Saylor out here saying, hey, if you got another chair, sell it. Basically saying you should be buying the dip. I mean, I'm buying the dip. Don't get me wrong. I think this is going to go up. But could we see some more downside potential? Yeah, I really do think so. It's very possible that we are going to be hovering here and then we could see some crazy wicks down simply because there is so much turmoil with Trump and the tariffs. I mean, imposing a 25% tariff, let's just look it up ourselves. Trump tariffs. Probably should have already had this pulled up. Oh yeah, I already saw it right there. Trump is implementing a 25% additional tariff on imports from Canada and Mexico. I thought this was on steel and aluminum, and a 10% additional tariff on imports from China. Energy resources from Canada will have a lower 10% tariff. So, that's actually pretty good. I like that one. This is different from what I was reading before. I thought he was imposing more of a tariff on Canada, and Canada was supposed to be raising their tariffs on the US too. President Trump is taking bold action to hold Mexico, Canada, and China accountable to their promises of halting illegal immigration and stopping poisonous fentanyl and other drugs from flowing into our country. That's the least of our problems right now, honestly. I mean, man, look at the egg prices. Who else is going to make a living? I mean, unless you're selling some good crack, what are you doing with your life at this point? While trade accounts for 67% of Canada's GDP, 73% of Mexico's GDP, and 37% of China's, it accounts for only 24% of the US GDP. However, in 2023, the US trade deficit in goods was the world's largest at over $1 trillion. Now, I also heard from Graham Stephan's video that the US is going to have to start paying back its debt this June, and interest rates are at a high. That means that if we, say, put another 3-year fixed term on our loan payments for about $7 to $8 trillion, we're talking about like an interest rate of 1% alone is like $1.56 per $1. That's a lot. Imagine if that's up into 3%, 4% like it currently is. Like, let's see. USA current interest rates. Yeah, there it is. Federal funds rate, 4.33%. That is no joke. That's very high. And a prime loan rate is at 7.5%. That's insane. Like, you know, if we're taking a 4% hit on $7 trillion, that's a lot of money we're talking here. I don't even need to do the numbers on that. Like, the whole goal of what he's trying to do is to intentionally crash the markets with all of this volatility. He's literally airing private news, like private discussions that should not be held outside of the White House. Like in the open air, all the American people are seeing it. They're getting scared when you're talking about, oh, either you give us Canada or we're going to take it from you. Oh, you better give us Greenland or we're going to take it from you. Oh, Ukraine, you can basically fuck off. We're not here to support you. After we said that we would help you out through anything, we're just going to back off now because, presidential terms change, and who those promises were made to before, well, he's not in power anymore for a good reason. And that's why most of America voted for me in power. And he abuses the system. I'm not going to say anything else beyond the fact that Trump coin became a thing. And look where this coin is sitting. This is a complete meme token. I knew that they were going to have the lockups from April. They're going to be releasing this soon. So there's going to be even more supply in the market, which is just going to dump it further. I mean, what a horrible chart. I know I said before that this was a potential moneymaker, but I said it myself in that video. It's very short term. It's a meme coin. It can go to zero, and most likely it was going to go to zero. That's why I took advantage of it for the day that I literally held it and sold it the next day. Because yeah, I saw it go from like 60, 70 all the way down to like 40, wicked up a little bit. And I was like, yeah, that's it. That's done. I've seen how meme tokens like do things. And when you have huge wicks like that, that's basically saying this is a top. If I could have shorted Trump token, I would have. But sadly, they don't have the markets open for the most obvious tokens to short for some godforsaken reason. And then also with ETH, just look at how much this is plummeting. I remember putting in a short right here, literally right here. Was that like 2870, 2860? And oh no, it was like 2780. So I saw this and I saw it wick down. I was holding here. I just sold out of it because I was like, I don't want to play with fire. Boom. All the way down. Like it would have been the perfect short, but honestly, I wanted more Bob. So I took whatever I can get, added it to Bob, said, okay, I saw a dip in Bob. I'm going to take this opportunity, and I stacked some more Bob. I'm not saying I'm regretting that. It would have been better to definitely hold that short. That's for sure. But that's the way she goes. Can't predict everything perfectly. All I can say is we're hovering between this range below the upper band of this descending pennant. And the whole market's tumbling. This is not like something that's just specifically to Bob. Oh, I also saw that the Alice canister is not working. It's been 6 days, almost 7 days now. They're not saying anything about it from what I've seen on X. And people are getting pretty scared in the Bob.fun channel. Like, Alice canister gone. I can't access my coins. What's exactly going on? I mean, I'm personally thinking that they just turned it off. Simple as that. They don't want Alice trading anymore in this really bearish market, which is like, okay, just take what you have, hold it, and let's be patient for a little bit because the market's just going to keep going down. So we might as well wait for a presumed bottom in all this volatility, and then we'll turn it back on. If they can just do that, that is not good. I'm hoping it's a legit problem that's actually occurring. So I'm not too sure, guys. Like, this is really bad for Alice, and Alice is the DAO, the master controller for Bob.fun. That's scary too. All I can say is, individually speaking, Bob is doing just fine. Nothing has been happening with Bob. We're still mining. Mining cycles burned has been going down, but we're still burning more ICP technically, because you got to think about this. ICP is worth about $5 right now, $5.50. We go to our calculator here, handy dandy little calculator. We can do 139 teracycles divided by 5.5 because every dollar is equal to 1 teracycle. We're talking about 25 ICP per cycle. Like, these are still being burned. It's just that it looks like it's less teracycles because the value of ICP has been going down, which is only natural. And as this dumps further and people keep burning ICP to mine Bob, which is going to consume more Bob just to keep up with these rates that they're burning at. We're talking 83 teracycles still per miner on the G5 F3D miner, and he's staying really consistent to that. They're mining at huge losses right now. This isn't like no random scenario. They're expecting something big to come. They're going to pump this to get their money's worth. I can guarantee you that. I'm assuming about 60 to 70% of the supply is held by these big whales, and they're literally, I remember when liquidity, we were up here, liquidity was at about 855,000. Right when they ripped out the liquidity, things started dumping again. There's a reason for that. It's to make it look like things are super bearish. And then when they pump it again, add liquidity so that things don't get too volatile. And then we slowly climb up and then have some more bigger pumps. Like, yeah, I'm not going to be surprised. Like, things are going to start to get wild. You just got to hold on to your bone, realize what you bought into this for, which is the fact that there's 21 million bob. We just had the halving, so selling pressure on the upside is going to be reduced. But we're in a low liquidity market. Things can go wild left and wild right. Like, up and down like this should not be unexpected. But we're hitting bottoms. This is going to test a lot of people and see and bring out their true colors about how they feel about Bob. Because when people, like I said, base things off of price alone, they miss the fundamentals. And that's where we can sell and gives opportunity to patient investors to make the money. Because as Warren Buffett himself says, the market is simply a means of transferring money from the impatient to the patient. So if you're patient and you're stacking, you're dollar cost averaging, I'm going to say you're going to want a dollar cost average around these points because we're going to take a little bit to pump. But we don't know if we're going to go lower or higher, but I've been dollar cost averaging in myself. I'm taking like every paycheck I get and I'm taking like 50 to 75% of it and dollar cost averaging it in. And I'm living on like nothing besides water, freaking water, some oranges. Man, I got nothing on me. I'm not going out to drink. I'm not going out to eat too much. I'm just doing what I can, you know, to save as much money as I can because I know when these things go wild, I've seen these dozens of times, they go wild. We can be going down for like 50 to 80 days. And then in literally 5 to 10 days, we could be hitting new all-time highs and making so much more money, like in just 5 to 10 days. And most of those gains, before even people realize we're in a bullish trend, are made in like the first 3 days. This is like statistically proven with the S&P too. Like in 33% of scenarios, I think it was in the Graham Stephan video. I really highly recommend watching it. Like Graham, I don't even know how to spell your name, but I can just do that. This video right here, it's over. Trump purposely crashing the stock market. He explains a lot about the facts of why he's doing this. And I see this as discounted prices for Americans because you want a generational opportunity, you're getting it right now. Just like in the COVID times when prices were dipping. I mean, this is great. We haven't seen prices like this for ICP since 2024, December of 2023. Yeah, I'm buying. I don't really care what people say. There's not a lot of sellers down at this point. It's just when things purposely crash, and the market makers are going to do this, and people are in a fear mode because of what Trump is doing by announcing everything to the public, and literally no one knows what's going to happen next because he is so volatile as a human being. No one's used to this. But I see it as a tactic on his side to cause markets to drop to benefit the rich at the end of the day. As a middle class person myself, and as a poor person, maybe there's some people like you in this chat because we're obviously not millionaires. You're going to want to take advantage of what the big fishes are doing. Look at their moves. They're holding, they're buying. That's all I can say. A lot of these people are in fear mode, and we got a lot of retail traders selling off because I'm going to assume most of this pump was mostly retail. A lot of this over here, this is where the whales bought in. This is where liquidity was bought up. We got a lot of selling over here. This is where big retail was probably starting to sell off right here on this wick. And then, you know, we go back down to here. This is where retail is stacking up because they're still hyped up about this. And then retail sells here too. And now we got retail selling off down here. Just simply because things are looking bearish. Trump is blowing up the market, and that's how life goes. Take advantage of the dips. Markets don't stay down forever. Things are only going up. More people are being born. Things are inflating. It's just how it works. That's how the US dollar works. It only decreases in value over time, but they're going to try their best to prop up the market to keep things swimming. So things are going to keep swimming. It's just like the real estate market. That shit only goes up because there is a fixed supply of houses you can have. But even though I know you could literally fit every single person in Texas, they're not living that way. They're living like, oh man, I need my 200 acres of land and I'm willing to pay my taxes on it. And that's what the 1% are doing. They're buying up like 50% of the land in America and they're enjoying it for themselves. They're going to make money off of you and they're going to continue to raise rates on you. And that's why real estate continues to go up because what are you going to do? Go live in a freaking box? No, You're going to work your butt off, get 2 to 3 jobs, and continue to work. The thing is, you got to save every penny, though. You got to make that money work for you. I was watching another video on YouTube. It was a great guy. I think it was like Alex Hamzi or something like that. He's basically making a video saying if you have like a $200 pair of shoes that you really want to buy, and you spend that now, that $200 goes to zero. You lose that $200 that you just, throw away for shoes. Shoes aren't going to do anything for you. But if you took that $200 and you invested it at an interest rate of 9%, compounding, let's say the S&P going up about average 10% every single year, and you did that for 30 years, compounding, you're going to have $6,000 in 30 years. $6,000. $6,000 here, $5,000 here from $200 to $100 investments just every single week or every single, bi-weekly. Man, you're talking, it doesn't take too many 6 to 5,000s to make $1 million. And you should be thinking about retirement because I hope you expect to live by the time you're 60 or 70. And the best thing you can do is just stay in shape, keep working out, stay healthy, drink your water, quit bad habits, and just focus on growth because that's what you got to do as a man. As a man, we're not here to focus on assets in terms of liabilities. We're not looking for debt incurring liabilities, something that takes away from us. Pay off your credit card debts, save up as much money as you can, and just grind. Like right now, I'm about to go work out. I'm about to just grind DoorDash. I don't care how slow it is. If it says $7 for 2 miles of driving, I'm going to go get my $7. I'm going to do that again and again and again. By the end of the day, I usually end up with about $80 to $100. That's money. Especially when I'm only paying 7 cents per kilowatt hour for my electricity. It's like I pay $4, $5, $8 maximum to charge my car up. And I'm making about $80 to $100. I know there's depreciation on my car, but of course, when you're me, you have the ability to go to your, I have people that I know. You network. They give you free tires because, man, my 21-inch tires are rare. You can't find those bad boys anywhere. No one wants to buy them. So when I find them in a store, I have a guy who sells them to me. He gives them to me for like $200 total for a set of 4. Those tires easily cost $700 a pop. They're Pirellis. They're no joke. So when I find those tires, he gives them to me because they're rare and no one can find them. But they come along. They do. There's ways he gets them, and I appreciate them every single time. He'll put them on for me, and it's a good day. So I'm not really too scared. You drive safe. You avoid potholes. You drive slow. I have Tesla insurance, so they track my every single movement, whether it's hard braking, hard acceleration, aggressive following, nighttime driving. Yeah, but it's still cheaper than every other insurance out there. I was paying $2,200 for Progressive just for basic insurance. I'm getting twice the amount of comprehensive coverage, and I pay only $112 a month for my insurance. Yeah, I mean, with all the driving I've been doing with DoorDash, that's going up. It's going to be about $150 next month. That's fine. It's still way cheaper than paying $220 some, $230 some for Progressive. Like, I'll take that. And that's what I'm DoorDashing for. That's why I'm paying more, is because I'm driving so much more. So they're accounting for all those miles extra that I'm driving. Fine. Do it. I'm still going to work. I'm not going to let those things take me by surprise. I'm going to always try to save more. And if driving safe is what they want and I need to go DoorDash and having an electric car already saves me on gas prices, man, I can't get a better deal. You do the most with your time, you save your money, and you live below your means. You take that money, you dollar cost average in the markets you believe in, especially when there's fear in the market. And you wait patiently. These dips don't last forever, guys. These things are temporary. I don't see this as a scam. I mean, Alice, on the other hand, it's scaring me a bit. I'm not too sure about that. I don't really know what's going on, but I'm assuming Robert is doxxed. The things that are going on are not perfect. These are new things that are coming out. So it's all about patience, taking your time, and keeping your diamond hands diamond. Stay strong. I truly believe in this market, and things might not happen for the next week, 2 weeks, but I believe end of March, with the way the M2 supply is stacked up to benefit the market, we're going to be seeing some big pumps because they got to make their money somehow. They're going to inflate the markets because it can't keep going down forever. So like I said, dollar cost average, be patient, stack your bob and hold. Put it in the NNS, be safe, because anything can happen out there. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I know it's just a lot of rambling, but I'm just trying my best to show you my perspective on things, which is this is the best time to buy, is when people are telling you to sell. The market's going to go down. you're dumb, you're stupid, you're this or that. They never change. They never change. I've realized that no matter how much everything looks good, even people now are saying Bitcoin's going to zero. Like, man, you guys never learn. It was at 6 cents just like 15 years ago. Now we're talking about $100,000 Bitcoin and it dumps like $20,000 and you guys are already crying for zero. They really don't see anything. They're just literally apes just screaming their emotions out. Figure out why you're buying, realize that this is true potential, and that it's going to go up. That's all there is to it. I can't really say more. The lower the price goes for ICP, the more ICP we burn, which just allows for a more volatile pump when it does come. So keep stacking, keep making the magic happen, and just keep grinding. You'll get there eventually. And when the time comes to sell, I will let you know. That's why I haven't made a video in so long, because I know things are bearish, but I can't just keep making a video on all this bearish sentiment and saying keep hodling, keep hodling, keep hodling. Like, you know what to do, and I believe in you. All right, guys. Peace out.